A man will rely on his female friendships for emotional support or his female family members instead of going to actual therapy. And it's a huge problem. And ladies, we need to stop fucking enabling them. I just did a video yesterday about how men should not have friendships with women because usually there's an ulterior motive. A man will play the long game with a female friend. He knows you're not attracted to him. So he will hold on to the friendship for many years until you give him that opportunity to sleep with you. He will wear you down. He will play the long game. He will use you for emotional support. He'll run to you as his female friend and complain about all types of things. He might complain about his girlfriend, him and his girlfriend or his wife having problems at home, and he needs your advice. He might complain to you about a female coworker or one of his exes, his baby mothers. He's using you for emotional support. Hell, he might even talk about the women in his family, his mama and sister, talk about them like a dog to you because you're his female friend. He's using you for emotional support and trauma dumping on you behind the friendship. He needs to take his motherfucking ass to the therapist. That's where the fuck he needs to be. In a therapist chair, a psychologist chair, venting his frustrations with women, his mama, his sister, his baby mama, his wife, whoever. He does not need to trauma dump on his female friend. Because let me tell you something, ladies. It's all a manipulation game. Yeah, that's why he keeps female friends. He has a wife or a girlfriend. Maybe you know about her, maybe you don't know about her. But bottom line is, his partner, his lover, wife, living girlfriend, fiance, she should be his number one friend. If he needs to vent about a problem or anything going on in his life, she should be who he goes to, not his female friendships. Because what he's doing, he's manipulating you while he's trauma dumping on you. He got you believing that, you're the Hail Mary of his problems. You're there, you're so wonderful. You're his number one support system. It's all a game. He's wearing you out, wearing you down, and playing the long game with you. Because eventually he's going to try to sleep with you. He'll wait it out. He'll wait it out as long as he can. Because while he's waiting on you, he's fucking other women. He's rotating and fucking other women to pass the time until he wears you the fuck out. Wears you down to the point where you're ready to give in and give him that fucking opportunity. Women do not need to be friends with men. Unless you are married or you have a husband, a boyfriend, and he approves of you being friends with this man. And if you're friends with him, you should be friends with his woman as well. It should be a situation where couples are friends with each other, but never a situation where you're friends with him. You don't know nothing about his other woman, his girlfriend, his wife. He hasn't told you about her. Or what makes it worse is you do know that he has a woman. You wrong for being friends with him. You violating. His main female friend should be the woman he's involved with, not a woman on outside of his relationship. And you dead wrong for that. There's no excuse. I don't want to hear the shit in my comment section. You violated and you wild for that. Like I said before, men will use a friendship to have 100% access to a woman he potentially wants to sleep with. He will play the long game with you to wear you down until you give him that opportunity to sleep with you. He will use you as a crutch to trauma dump on you and complain about his problems. He will complain about other women in his life to his female friend when he belongs in a motherfucking therapist chair. Ladies, stop enabling these men to be this fucking way. No, you're not his friend. You're not his therapist. And if he tries it with you, direct him kindly. Kindly direct him. You need to go see professional help. Go seek a therapist. I can't help you with that. Just know if he wants to be friends with you, 9 times out of 10, it's transactional. You have something that he wants. Whether he wants what's between your legs, Maybe he sees that you're connected to a lot of popular people and a lot of, people that can put him in a better position financially. So he wants to get close to your resources. You have a group of beautiful girlfriends. So he wants to sleep with one of your girlfriends. So he got to get close to you in order to meet your girlfriends. He's transactional. The only reason he's fucking with you is to get close to you because he sees something that he can gain from out of being friends with you. It's never genuine. But ladies, if he's using you for emotional support, don't let him trauma dump on you. You got your own problems. Send his ass to a fucking therapist. And I guarantee most of them will not go seek therapy because they're too busy out here using and abusing women and manipulating them through friendships. I said what the fuck I said.
Hi, whistleblower. I'm sorry that you've had very bad experiences with men, that you're angry with black men. Perhaps you were married to a black man or a man that made you unhappy and you still haven't healed from the trauma of that relationship, or maybe you had a bad relationship with your father or the men in your family that caused you to have such hate for men. I have a different perspective. I actually have a deep compassion for men as well as women. I have a deep compassion for women, definitely. One of my deepest compassions is for both, but it's for men mainly because I'm the closest to guys. Even if I am close to women because I'm a woman, I'm closer to guys because they're the ones that I actually have sex with. They're the ones that I share my emotional baggage with. I don't share that emotional baggage with a woman. I don't sleep. And when I say emotional baggage, sexual emotional baggage. So when you have sex with someone and you intertwine with them, you actually share your spirit with them, a cord. You almost like you sort of kind of, it almost feels like you're sharing your DNA with that person, but you're not. But whenever you have sex with someone, you share liquids, especially if you don't use a condom. So you're sharing saliva when you make out. So it's a different relationship and a different connection between me and women. I have a much deeper compassion for women because I am a woman myself, and I know how hard they struggle emotionally and how they've been abused. And I feel like having compassion on you is one thing that I have to do. And it took a lot of healing, self healing, for me to get to this point, because if I wasn't healed, I would be triggered by you, and I would respond in a triggered manner. But I'm going to respond in a loving manner because I know you're not a bad person. I know you mean well, and you're just a broken human being, individual that hasn't gotten a chance to take therapy yourself, or maybe this is therapy for you. And I appreciate you getting out online and being open and doing the best that you can, because it takes a lot of courage to get out on the internet, to start talking about people's problems and talking about your problems and bringing the advice and being a spiritual leader or a spiritual whistleblower or whatever it is. No disrespect, is actually is heavy, because you receive a lot of spiritual messages and you begin to tremble and to be, you're bothered because Chris Brown is a man beater. I mean, you see Chris Brown as a woman beater, but I don't think Chris Brown is necessarily a woman beater. I don't think or feel like Chris Brown is a woman beater. I feel like Chris Brown witnessed abuse in his household as a child, and when he and Rihanna witnessed abuse as children, Rihanna's father beat on her mother, and and they fought all the time in front of Rihanna. A lot of a child's development starts by how their parents raise them, how their parents behave, and they build that child's memory up that way. And growing up, that's all he ever knew. He felt alone, and he always was. I can read Chris Brown's mind, without having to even listen to all his videos, because I haven't had the time to listen to them, and I can tell that he's always been praying to God for a wife. And I think he told me that, but I forgot. But I can tell he's been praying even when he was a little boy. I hear that little boy. I feel like I was there somehow in the spirit. Like I feel like we're connected in our past lives and entered into this lifetime and are now continuing something we didn't finish. And there was something that was incomplete. And I feel like my spirit, he will always cry until I respond. So there's some things that before you even move on to a connection or choose to move on and get married to someone else, there are some connections that you just do have to complete before because my partner, my personal partner, he's not opening up. He's in my DMs. He's talking to me, telling me he loves me, but he's telling me I'll talk to you in person. But he's not telling me when he's going to talk to me in person, when we're going to meet. So that's taken away from the healing process from a very important man, a man that's actually served in this country, a man that's fought for this country. I mean, Rihanna is a billionaire. She fought for this country, but she didn't become a billionaire until she was beat up by Chris Brown. And guess what? Women are smart. They know how to beat up, how to trigger black men in this country and get them to get angry, and to get them to retaliate. They do it to me. Even Spanish people do it to me. Like when I went to Ralph's. When I went to Ralph's, this Spanish woman rubbed her bag in my face, and started harassing me because she knew I was weak-minded and I was dealing with trauma. And so I told her, "Can you get your bag out of my face?" And I literally wrote a letter to Ralph's and put it on Yelp and said, "I'm going to sue you guys for $5 million. When I get lawyers, just be ready to go to court because the woman you hired put her bag in my face." That's harassment. I don't wait till I get hit to say that I'm being harassed. I've been harassed. I've been hit. When you get too close to my face to a point where I can easily jump. First of all, she attacked a person with a disability, and that's a big major case to me. I mean, I am sure it's a major case in court because it's a person that is disabled, right? So they were not careful when they hired the wrong individual. And Chris Brown is someone that I believe struggles with PTSD. And he got in the industry at a young age, never got a chance to heal. And when he got with Rihanna, he got with a woman. The reason he beat up Rihanna is because Rihanna wasted his time. Rihanna started bringing her problems to him when all he needed was someone to hear him out. He needed a woman that was ready to take him in. Unfortunately, I wasn't there because I was busy dealing, and I pray that Chris, hoping that you hear me, I was busy dealing with my own trauma because I too was abused in my household. So I couldn't be a celebrity and deal with my fans' issues and deal with my fans' opinions and thoughts of me while I'm still dealing with my own thoughts, right? While I'm still dealing with my own problems, my birth mother beating on me, being raped and told to jack my older sister's boyfriend off. He sneaks in my room, and then they all called me, a whore, and they're like, "You're a whore, you're a prostitute." Next thing you know, I'm prostitute. I'm prostituting in the past, of course, because they planted that in my head. They made me feel like I was really a prostitute when I was really a male target, right? So men were attracted to whatever light they saw in me, and they would come and they wanted to have that piece of light because they didn't have it for themselves. I'm not the kind of person that brags about this light because this light, I believe strongly, it comes from God. It comes from struggles. It comes from hurts and pains. And some people, their struggles and hurts and pains mold them to being a bad person. But with God in my heart, I didn't allow those struggles to turn me into an evil girl, an evil person, because I know for a fact that turning into evil is not going to make me a successful woman. In this world, you have to choose to do good every day. That choice, you're presented with that choice, just like your words. When men are broken, you see the ground that we walk on. You see this road. Men built this. Not women, maybe few women. Many men were told they couldn't cry. Many men were told they had to be strong. Many men were told that if they cried, they were not strong enough. If they went to therapy, they were not strong enough. If anything that was feminine to them, they were not strong enough. So they failed to get in touch with their feminine side. And when they did get in touch with their feminine side, they ended up being completely gay. Right? So men need help too. Men need mental health help too. And I advise every man out there that's listening, if you, no offense, Miss Whistleblower, but I do have to warn every man. If you have a mother or a woman that talks to you like this, if you can run away and get away from her house, it'll be the best decision that you would ever make. Why? Because a person like this that talks like this is broken. They're broken, and until they heal from their trauma, they will always project their traumas on you as well. The same way they're blaming you, they're blaming themselves deep down inside. And I feel like she's also blindly or purposely kind of trying to defend me because she feels like I'm on the right track. And I appreciate that. That's why I'm gentle with her. Like me, when I was going through, and I want you to know, Miss Whistleblower, I don't hate you, and I would love to donate to you when I get paid, because I want you to get better. I believe in you, and I know that you're doing the best that you can. And if you can get a Cash App, I would definitely be able to put at least $30 or $40 on your card, so you can feel like you have someone that loves you, right? Because I want you to feel loved, so you don't go on hating men. I want you to have a different perspective towards men, and I want you to. I could use. I could use someone like you if only you can heal from your issues. And you have such an amazing, powerful voice. But if you use that powerful voice to break down the men that built these homes, the men that we need, because when we were too busy inside or outside getting pregnant and holding their children, they were building a house for us. Right? Working hard. So if we break down our black men, especially black men were always told they were not good enough. Black men were burned in fire. Black men. And so for Chris Brown, he sees me with a white guy. He's like, why? How come it's not fair that you're choosing the white guy over me, and I need you more than anything, right? And now Justin wants to show up, and Justin crying about his issues, where it's like, what? And the reason why they rape Justin, because they're like, why are you coming to our community to talk to our women? Why are you here? We need help. So when they see white people going in their community, they see it as a white person trying to target their queen or their woman or their person, and trying to get that attention, because they don't feel confident. They don't feel like they look good enough. They don't feel like they're as handsome. And so, and I would hate to be the woman that tells Chris Brown, you're not pretty. You're not handsome enough for me. I mean, he's fucking sexy as fuck. He has a beautiful, beautiful structured model face. He has a beautiful spirit. He has a voice of an angel. But there is a devil that is trying to come after his life. And that devil is specific women. Specific women that he was forced to have sex with. He was forced to be a gigolo. The reason why he's reaching out to me is because I'm actually on point. I can read his spirit. I can tell. I know women molest men. They molest men. And they bark because if the man refuses to fuck the woman, then she starts being a bitch. And that's the same point that I thought that I felt with Rihanna. I was like, well, why is Rihanna being mean to Ashton Kutcher? And when they asked her about Ashton Kutcher, she says, what a disappointing question. And all I could say is, what's so disappointing about that question? Why can't you're a billionaire? Why can't you answer that question? I mean, you speak well English. And Rihanna, this is not to disrespect you, but just bringing facts to the surface, to the top of the surface. Why don't you just answer that question? What is there a Ashton Kutcher anywhere? And she said, what a disappointing question, because he probably didn't want to fuck her. And they spent hours in the hotel drinking and trying to talk, because Ashton Kutcher was probably looking for someone to connect with on a soul level, but Rihanna was looking for someone to fuck her. And Ashton Kutcher probably refused. So that's the same thing with Chris Brown. Chris Brown is a fucking handsome guy. He fucks good. You can tell he fucks good. So imagine how many older women had to pay him to fuck. To fuck him, or to get fucked by him, right? And that can cause a lot of and that can cause a lot of brokenness in the male community, because people are thinking that women are the only ones that every man wants to fuck. Chris Brown is saying, no, women want to fuck me. They want to pay me to fuck them, to have sex with them, to do things to them, and they want to connect to the woman that he's deeply connected to. That woman is not Karuchi. That woman is not Rihanna. And that's why Rihanna was mad. And that's why Rihanna grabbed his balls and tried to play with his empire. His balls is his empire because that's where his children are. And if a woman even touches a man's balls the wrong way, she disrespects his entire kingdom. And I don't blame him for punching the fuck out of her. I would have probably done the same fucking thing. I don't promote violence in women, but some women do need to be beat the fuck up when they disrespect men. Women need to be a lot wiser in the decisions that they make, but I do understand that women suffer with trauma. So I have to be gentle and remind the man that, hey, remember the woman. Don't hit a woman even if it feels like it's right. But when a man is not healed, it's your job as a woman to have that observation. But when Rihanna got in the industry and hooked up with Chris Brown, she was too young to have that observation. I've been in this country since I was 9 years old, so I've spent a lot more time with the Black community than Rihanna has. Right? Beyonce has spent more time with the Black community than Rihanna has. So she loves Jay-Z very much, and she never ended up being beat up by Jay-Z. Maybe they did fight. Maybe she did get beat up and they covered it and we didn't know. Beyonce was covered up shaking one time and nobody was really listening. And I'll get to Beyonce and Jay-Z later, but I can only talk about the hardest issues first, the ones that are hurting the most, right? To try to get them the healing that they need. I can't move on in my relationship with anybody if I don't fix the relationships with that I had in the past, or if I don't fix the Black community. Because the person that I'm in love with, I might be in love with, or that I am in love with, not might, that I am deeply in love with, I feel like he's pulling me away from my agenda, because he's pulling me close to him, but he's just fucking around. He's not being serious about healing. He's healing, but he's playing games. It's like he's almost wearing me out to the point where when it's time to heal a Black man that really needs healing, like Chris Brown, I won't have energy for it. So I'm aware of that. And so I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I don't want to deal with this. When he's ready to talk, we can talk, but I'm not going to sit here and keep answering the same love letters and write poems to a man so he can distract me so I don't look at Chris Brown, so I don't do my job. That's Satan's work. And Satan can work through the very person that you love the most to keep you from your agenda. And they may not even know it because they're so filled with jealousy, right? They don't have the courage to get on camera. They don't have the courage to get on stage. They fear for their own safety. Yet when it comes to talking to them, they won't open up, right? And it's probably a chakra thing. So you can't get mad at a man for not wanting to open up. He's probably trying to punish because he knows if he opens up, it's going to stroke my ego. It's going to make me feel better. But not only that, he feels like once we talk, because he already said it. He says, once we talk and we get it out of the way, you're probably going to just leave because you're going to lose interest. And he said, I don't want to lose you. So he thinks if we talk and then the problem is solved and he feels better. That's the same thing Justin Bieber was doing. Justin was like, I'm not okay. I'll never be okay until I know that you're never going to leave me again. And I'm like, listen, boys, I love you so much with all my heart, but we have a job to do, a country to fix. And you're not the only one that resides in this country. Okay? So every minute you have with your mother, with your wife, with a woman, with your therapist, use that time wisely as if you were paying for it. Because you're playing with my time because I'm not charging you for it. But if you were paying for it, you wouldn't be playing with it. Right? But somebody else paid for my time too. Somebody else cried for my time too. And now that I'm here and they see me, I won't feel safe if I don't speak to them. because they don't feel safe because I won't speak to them, because they feel safer when I do speak to them. They feel comforted when I finally speak to them. They're scared. So as a Black woman, I beg you to please have deeper compassion, change your perspective, and I'm here to help you change that perspective about men, not just men, but Black men. They feel alone, and they too deserve love. They too deserve to be heard, just like you. God bless.